Intel alone. Borrowed, Mark.
I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at OPO Law. Over 43 years of experience. Insurance dial pound 250, use keyword personal injury to connect to OPO Law.
When you dial pound 250, you'll have the option of receiving an auto-dialed text message from iHeartMedia.
What really happened on January 6th? Was it a protest or something worse, even an insurrection? Joe Biden said it was the worst event since the Civil War. All this week, Chris Salcedo is on TV asking the tough questions and finding the real answers. So watch Salcedo's January 6th series on Newsmax every weekday. More than 40 million Americans watch Newsmax, America's fastest-growing cable news channel. It's on every major cable system. Just check your cable guide. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call your operator or switch to a service that does. Get Newsmax on most streaming services like Roku, Amazon Fire, Pluto, and more. It's even on smart TVs like Samsung and Vizio. Or download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone. It just takes seconds. Newsmax covers the big stories you need to know. The media isn't telling you the whole story. That's why millions are turning to Newsmax. So watch Salcedo on Newsmax today.
At Sit and Sleep, we know that people are experts at all kinds of things, except one, how to shop for the right mattress.
Right, Dad. Shopping for a mattress isn't something you do every day, or even every 8 years.
That's why Sit and Sleep has mattress experts with an average of 10 years experience, and bed match technology that scientifically recommends just the right mattress for you.
So for expert advice, trust your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
You know, Drew, I'm an expert at other things.
Like what?
Screaming free!
Spectrum Business called their competitors to see if any of them could beat Spectrum's Business Internet Plus phone offer for $69.98 per month with no added phone taxes or fees. Here are real quotes from the competition.
How are you pulling in no fees and taxes? That's madness.
I would 100% go with Spectrum.
Even the competition recommends Spectrum Business. Call 855-339-5344 and switch to Spectrum Business today.
Competitor quotes from actual phone conversations. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Call for details.
The biggest stars from all genres of music will share one stage at our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
At T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
2 nights of performances you've never seen before. Streaming free on a CW app and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio tonight and tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m.
Capital One is a proud partner of the 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to their customers. What's in your wallet?
Let's start with sauces. This is really cool. They're not that difficult, and the key ingredient to me is ketchup. It's one of the things that we buy in bulk. It's the base for a lot of different sauces. The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra.
Tomorrow afternoon at 2
on KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
Yes? Band is late. There they are. John and Ken Show. John Cobell and Ken Champo, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hi, this is as ugly as it gets. We'll be at the Mike Bonin recall desk after 4:05 with a story about people involved in the recall apparently being threatened. We'll tell you that right after the name Mike Bonin inciting domestic terrorism. Yep, that's the kind of character we're talking about. One of the stunning stories this week was the death of comedian Norm Macdonald at age 61. He had been suffering from cancer for 9 years, but even people close to him, I saw a couple people quoted, said we didn't know. And people wonder who would do that and why. And in the National Review, a columnist by the name of Kyle Smith took a look back at some of the things that Norm Macdonald has said in both his stand-up and some interviews, and he said, well, it's pretty clear if you take a look at some of what he said, why this happened. And one time during a stand-up he said, I saw a one-woman show once, and the woman goes, well, my mother had breast cancer, and now I have breast cancer. And I'm like, well, that's everybody. They think it's so special when everyone can get cancer and dies. It's almost like the height of narcissism to think you're going to be so brave to talk about it in person. And then where all you're doing is garnering sympathy for yourself. So that pretty much says exactly why he didn't tell people. And then the audience feels bad for you, and they're going to do fake laughs. I guess that is the extension of that. Yeah, even if you're a bad comedian, you'll get fake laughs, and you'll get fake applause, and everybody will be really moved. But I thought the idea was you're supposed to share your heart and your soul with your audience and let them know exactly what's going on in your life. And, well, you're supposed to. Says who? Oprah? You know, I blame Oprah for a lot of this. she's just ruined the culture. Seriously.
Oprah's yo-yo dieting was...
No, but Oprah, a lot of her show was people coming on and just spilling all their problems, right? And so suddenly we're hearing about every celebrity, every well-known person, and their struggles with all the diseases under the sun, all their abuses, all their mental problems, all their bad parenting and or their bad childhoods. And that's all it is. And, if you said, hey, you know what, I don't really want to hear about that. I really don't want to care about your problems. Well, I'm just trying to raise awareness. Well, here's breaking news. All awareness has been raised. We've heard about every single possible disease and dysfunction out there. It's all been covered. There's nothing new. We've heard about cancers on all the organs. We've heard about all the various abuses. We've heard about all the eating disorders, everything. And I just, at some point, you want to watch somebody, you want to be entertained. Make me laugh, do something dramatic, sing a song, do the jump rope or something. Just do something. Stop telling me about your problems. They're your problems. Keep your stuff private. I want the return of privacy.
Norm Macdonald took this even further when he praised a late character actor by the name of Richard Farnsworth, who apparently had terrible cancer when making a movie in 1999. And Macdonald said he was filled with cancer, but instead he didn't say anything. In fact, no one knew it. His family didn't know it. He kept it from everyone. And he did what they call a stuntman's death, which is you put a shotgun in your mouth, and with your toe you pull the trigger. To me, that was courageous. You're not being a burden to your family. They know nothing about it, and then you're gone. He wrote a nice letter to everybody in the family and said that the reason he didn't want to cause people distress. So if you read these, it should be no surprise that Norm Macdonald didn't tell anybody that.
I like him even more now.
Is his belief system.
I like him even more.
Yeah.
I've liked him ever since I saw him on Saturday Night Live doing the O.J. Jones.
And he even specifically said in his stand-up act that everybody's afraid of death. And he said, if I had a specific ailment, and possibly I do, you don't know, I wouldn't talk about it. I hope that I would not discuss it and just try to benefit momentarily from it, from that.
Right.
Which other people get, and then they get nothing.
So it's emotional pander.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it that way because I had read one of his longtime close friends. I don't think it was a manager. I think it was just we didn't know. We were kind of surprised. And he seemed kind of hurt that he didn't know. Like he wasn't let into the inner circle.
Well, because if you tell one person, you're telling the world. People can't keep secrets like that.
Norm Macdonald has cancer.
The next thing you know, it's in the National Enquirer, or it's in the LA Times or something. It's news. Then that's all people want to talk about. So next, he lasted 9 years with this cancer. He worked a lot. He appeared in a lot of places. Otherwise, everybody would look through the filter of his cancer. Well, that screws you up as a comedian, as a performer. That means people are not reacting to your performance. They're reacting to, oh, that guy's got cancer and he's up there.
All right, when we come back, we'll be at the Mike Bonin recall desk. The headline is, Mike Bonin recall proponent's home has been attacked. Attack occurs 1 day after the councilman doxes the recall proponent. And that means gives out people's name and addresses.
More coming up. John and Ken Show, Deborah Marquez News, Kfi Am 640.
Oh, and when you need to know it.
KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Thumbs down for now. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. An FDA advisory panel has rejected a plan to offer booster shots of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for most Americans. During the meeting today, Dr. Marion Grober spoke against the plan.
Findings of effectiveness of the additional dose, while necessary, is not sufficient for an FDA approval.
Members of the panel said Pfizer had provided little data on the safety of extra doses. The Biden administration had been pushing to roll out the third shot. The CDC has said it is considering boosters for older people, those in nursing homes, and frontline healthcare workers. LA County's health director has announced a new order to try to get more people vaccinated against COVID-19. Barbara Ferrer says there are two parts to the order.
It will require mega events and event venues to implement systems to verify vaccination or recent negative test by October 7th.
Mega events are those with more than 10,000 people.
It will also require bars, lounges, nightclubs, breweries, wineries, and distilleries to verify at least one dose of vaccination by October 7th and full vaccination by November 4th.
Ferrer says vaccines provide excellent protection against COVID, but they are not perfect, so masks and other measures are also needed. Jurors have reached a verdict in the murder trial of Robert Durst. Durst is charged with killing a longtime friend in her home in Benedict Canyon in L.A. in 2000. The verdict is expected to be announced this afternoon. Some inmates at the Orange County Jail will not be getting high because of a drone stuffed with drugs was flying too low.
The drone crashed inside the gate at the Theo Lacey facility. OC Sheriff Sergeant Ryan Anderson says the pilot and an inmate who clearly failed as an air traffic controller have both been charged with multiple felonies.
The drone was carrying 2 grams of heroin, 4 grams of methamphetamine, approximately 15 Xanax pills, and approximately 15 muscle relaxers.
Anderson says the pilot was found in Costa Mesa with a BMW and an apartment he got with a fake ID, along with more drugs, several rifles, including an assault weapon, and the remote controller for the drone. In Orange County, Corbin Garson, KFI News.
A brush fire along the 5 freeway in Gorman has burned more than 180 acres. The fire started around 2 this afternoon when flames from a car crash spread to nearby brush. The fire is 0% surrounded, but fire crews appear to be getting a handle on it. The 2020 Orange County Hate Crimes Report shows a 35% spike in hate crimes. OC Human Relations Hate Crime Prevention Coordinator Nee Wynn says anti-Asian hate incidents jumped 1,800%.
Some reported hate incidents and hate crimes were motivated by both anti-Asian discrimination and COVID-19 anti-Asian rhetoric.
Wynn says the black community had an 88% increase in hate crimes and was the most targeted group. The report includes 112 hate crimes and 263 hate incidents, which are defined as not legally crimes. Border Patrol agents in Texas say they are struggling to process thousands of migrants who have turned up at the border with Mexico over the past week. About 9,000 migrants, most of them from Haiti, are camping under a bridge in the city of Del Rio. The Valverde County Sheriff says Border Patrol cannot process them fast enough, so there's a backlog of people camped under the bridge. We're going to go back to the 134 in Eagle Rock.
The eastbound side right there where it meets the 2 freeway crashed on that collector road as you try to make the transition to the 2, so you can't do it. Traffic jammed up all the way from Forest Lawn almost into Toluca Lake on that eastbound 134. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Michael Bryan looking at Santa Monica.
Yeah, it's very tough today. Well, the 10 eastbound loading up about Cloverfield. From there to Mid-City into downtown Los Angeles, that's going to be just a brutal drive. The southbound side of the 405, if you're heading towards LAX, extra tight today. It's loading up way back by Getty Center. Looks like the worst of it down to the airport. Just going to loosen up a little bit there, and then back on the brakes, leaving the 105 much of the way into Long Beach. Northbound side of that 405, just as bad. That's going to load up right out of Inglewood from LAX almost all the way to Roscoe. It's a mess. Injured in an accident? Visit Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
Don't forget our brush fire northbound side of the 5 at Vista Del Lago in the Gorman area. 2 right lanes taken away. It's backed up for about 5 miles. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Will Kohlschreiber.
This hour of KFI is brought to you by Sunlux, your best value in solar for all your energy needs. Sunlux.com.
And jurors have reached a verdict in the murder trial of Robert Durst. They found Durst guilty. He was charged with killing a longtime friend in her home in Benedict Canyon in L.A. in 2000. We are going to have a nice, pleasant weekend. We'll talk about that next.
Ah, Bill, thank you. You're a lifesaver. No problem. There was something with my car. I love a new car like yours. Actually, it's not new. It's a Toyota certified used car. Wow, looks new. Drives great. Oh, that's because Toyota inspects from top to bottom. Gives them great warranties. And, you know, it's a Toyota. Huh. Mind dropping me off at a Toyota dealer? Good move.
The best new cars do make the best used cars. And now, get 1.99 APR on any used Camry, Corolla, RAV4, or any of the Prius family. Along with a 160-point inspection, you get a 12-month or 12,000-mile limited comprehensive warranty and 7 years of roadside assistance from the date of purchase. For all warranties, see dealer for details. Not all customers will qualify. Limited term financing through Toyota Financial Services. Must take delivery from Toyota Certified Used Vehicle Dealer stock by midnight November 1st. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
Owning a business comes with pressure. There's a limit to what I can do and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. Think put 30-plus years of HR experience to work to help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance, while giving my employees competitive benefit options. And because I'm able to focus on other priorities, my employees can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed down 166, the S&P 500 down 41, NASDAQ down 138, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.39.
Bay Alarm will keep your commercial fire system in compliance so you're up to code, not up all night.
Southland weather from KFI. Overcast again in the morning, then sunny with highs in the mid-60s to around 70 at the beaches, 80 for Metro LA, mid-70s to mid-80s in the valleys, upper 70s to low 80s for inland OC, low to upper 80s in the IE. Pretty much the same thing for Sunday. Right now it's 76 in Orange, 70 Huntington Beach, 80 in Northridge, and 79 in Sun Valley. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Dupper Mark.
Johnny Pinchot.
You are part of the problem. It's a grassroots effort, even though he claims it's all dark money funding it.
His attitude basically was, this is my plan, and if you don't want to go along with it, well, you're part of the problem. The people of the area just haven't had enough.
I mean, he just hasn't addressed concerns of his constituents.
You almost want these encampments to be right in front of the public face.
All he's ever done is attack his constituents who complain.
He's taking his ban policy now everywhere.
He's bragging that he housed 101 people. Where has he been the last 7 years?
When I go home tonight, no matter what else, I know where I can sleep. The fact of the matter is, he's not representing the people here. He's been emboldened by what he's done in Venice, and to the point where I think he believes that people will not stand up to him.
I am proud to stand here as being the other recall target for Johnny Ken.
Now, for an update on the recall against LA City Councilman Mike Bonin, here's John and Ken. John Cobell, Ken Shampoo, Kfi Am 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The recall Bonin effort has taken an ugly turn.
Maybe you go to recallbonin2021.com. That's where all the information is on the recall. But yeah, the events this week, and the headline is, Mike Bonin recall proponent's home has been attacked. 1 day after the councilman doxed the recall proponents.
The proponents are Nico Ruderman and Katrina Schmidt, and we got a press release from them yesterday saying that that Bonin is trying to rile up his supporters and intimidate the recall supporters, and claiming that they're right-wing,
MAGA, racist, and extremist.
Yeah, the usual nonsense. Then it's Katrina Schmidt's house was hit by 2 large rocks thrown through her front glass door, shattering it. She was not hurt.
Well, we should add that apparently her home address was disseminated on social media.
Yeah,
and on the fundraising page, and through a mass email to his supporters.
Yeah, so they are saying, Katrina Schmidt and Nico Ruderman are saying that Bonin disseminated Schmidt's home address on social media, on his fundraising page, and through a mass email to his supporters. And again, you call them right-wing, MAGA, racist, and extremists, that riles up the types of lunatics who would support a Mike Bonin. And so somebody started throwing the rocks. Now, Katrina didn't want to come on the air because she's obviously really afraid of it.
Shook up, yeah.
But we got another...
By the way, they add in their press release that Nico Ruderman and Katrina Schmidt are not Republican extremists. They've actually voted for Bonin in the past. They have made some political contributions to people like Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris.
So Bonin is a compulsive liar, a pathological liar. He's a sick guy. And so now he's lying about them in order to stir up hatred and violence, and we got the hatred and violence.
He wants to intimidate and get rid of the recall proponents with this kind of, they're calling it political terrorism.
It is terrorism. We're going to get Nico Ruderman on now, one of the proponents for the recall Bonin.
And one of the targets here.
Nico, welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Thanks for having me back, guys.
All right. I wouldn't blame you if you're kind of shook up over this.
Yeah, it's been a tough week, and a lot of people don't know that Katrina and I have actually been dealing with this since Monday morning. We were trying to keep it quiet, so we didn't want to draw attention to the fact that she was doxxed in a video. commercial that Mike Bonin put out. And then on Wednesday, he decided to box up again and include me the second time after inciting anger towards us. He did target.
So he's doing this himself personally?
This was on his Twitter. This wasn't a staff member's Twitter. This was his Twitter to fight the recall. So, I didn't personally see him do it, but it was on his Twitter. And he personally retweeted it on his other Twitter.
To call the recall proponents right-wing, MAGA, racist, and extremists is one thing, but to then put your name and address, he actually literally did that?
Yes.
That's
really... I've never heard
because it's an invitation for people to go visit you.
That's exactly what it was. He was inciting anger against us and giving a target.
Can you tell us what you know about what happened at Katrina's home last night?
Yeah, Katrina and I had actually gone to the police station to try and file a police report against them, and we went and spoke to the police and informed them what was going on, and then I dropped her off at their house, and I went home to my family, and I was pretty much done to bed, and she started calling me and texting me and calling and texting me, and I immediately knew something was wrong, and I was in my son's room, so I left him. I went out and talked to her on the phone, and she initially thought it was a gunshot that had gone through her door. She's like, "Oh my God, somebody shot through my door," and she was hysterical. And she was about half a block away from me, and I didn't expect that I didn't hear any gunfire, but it turned out it was two rocks that had been thrown at her door. So I immediately moved my son into our bedroom out of his room, because his room's in the front of our house, and I was already worried about being a target. I moved him, and then I jumped in my car and drove down to go get her, and the police were there, and we talked to the police, and that's what happened last night.
And
she spent the night at my house with my family.
With Bonin putting this out on his social media feed, can he be legally liable for what happened?
I'm not an attorney. I can't answer that. I mean, we're looking into that. I hope so. But
you said that Katrina had gone to the police to complain about this.
Yeah, I wondered if the police had an opinion on Bonin's culpability here.
I can't really speak to that right now. But the police have been very supportive of us, and they came out last night. They were there within minutes last night.
Now, you'd mentioned that you felt like you could be a target. Had anything else happened before this attack on Katrina's house?
No, nothing else has happened. But this was the next day, so, I feel like this was a warning shot to us.
Yeah, and not that you have to, but you explained in the press release that you and Katrina are far from right-wing racists and extremists. You guys actually voted for Bonin?
I voted for Bonin in 2013, and Katrina voted for Bonin in 2017. And yeah, I mean, we are pretty liberal Democrats. It's anybody that knows us, it's just crazy for him to be saying what he's saying, and he's trying to tie us in with, people who are have almost zero involvement in the campaign. It's just an insanity. I'll take it one step further, and this will probably disappoint a lot of people to hear. Katrina and I both actually voted against the Nixon recall. We both voted no. And we're trying to recall Mike Bonin. He's trying to loop himself in with these other recalls, saying they're all part of one big conspiracy, and he's trying to,
that's what he's trying to do.
It's just insanity.
Well, they're taking a page out of the Newsom playbook here. What he's doing.
People believe a lot of nonsense, and they believe in a lot of myths. So if you just repeat a big lie over and over again, you'll get a certain number of people to go for it, and that's what he's doing here. Yeah. He's extremely dishonest, awful, evil.
Do you think that there's anything that moved him towards this? Perhaps your recall is picking up all his steam and he's worried?
Well, about a week before this all happened, we sent out a press release that things were going well with our campaign. And before that, we've been silent. They've been not, radio silent, no mention really in the press anywhere of what we're doing, and he was silent about us. And then, as soon as he found out we're doing well, he got scared, and he decided to turn around and try and scare us. So we're not going to back down.
Yeah, I mean, have you gotten an attorney or somebody to contact Bonin and get him to knock this off?
I can't really speak to that right now.
Okay.
But we do have attorneys who are working with us on our campaign, and not the attorneys who he's claiming that we have.
Yeah, no. I mean, I get it. I mean, you should just look about getting a restraining order. And to restrain him from publicizing your private information or anybody else connected to the recall.
Retracting that he did that, apologizing that he did that.
Yeah, he wouldn't need it.
It's too late for an apology. He just needs to resign.
Yeah, that'd be great. That should be the next answer. All right, Nico, keep in touch with us. Any help we can give you, if you need any kind of publicity, let us know.
Absolutely, and I'd encourage people, we need help. We need donations. Look at our website. If you haven't signed a petition yet, please sign. It's important. Tell everybody you know to sign. Our website is recallbonin2021.com.
All right, Nico Ruderman, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, it's recallbonin2021.com, and again, the headline is that Mike Bonin had put out on his Twitter and social media the names and addresses of two of the main recall proponents, Katrina Schmidt and our guest there, Nico Ruderman. And last night, apparently somebody threw a couple of large rocks at the front glass door of Katrina Schmidt's home. Think there's a connection? Yeah, there likely is. More coming up. Johnny Ken Show, Deborah Marquez News.
A jury in L.A. has found Robert Durst guilty of killing longtime friend Susan Berman in her home in Benedict Canyon in 2000. An FDA advisory panel has overwhelmingly rejected a plan to offer Pfizer COVID-19 booster shots to most Americans, but the panel did approve extra shots for people 65 or older or who have a high risk of severe disease. The Pentagon has admitted a U.S. military drone strike in Kabul, Afghanistan killed 10 civilians, not ISIS-K extremists. We have trouble on the 91, and we will check in with the Kfi in the Sky next.
Most mortgage lenders charge a fee, sometimes up to 1.5 for pulling cash out of your home's equity. Those points are on your whole loan balance, not just the cash you get. For example, if your loan amount is $400,000, that's a $6,000 fee. For a limited time, Owning will waive this fee so qualified borrowers can get a cash-out refi with absolutely no closing costs of any kind. Besides the usual no title, escrow, appraisal, etc., no fees for a cash-out on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So if you're in process somewhere and paying fees, call 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com, where our rate and APR for a no cash-out fee 30-year fixed mortgage is 2 3/4%. But hurry, the mortgage industry won't like this. So who knows when this special goes away? Call 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-303-2160 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick, and here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Clippers' new $1.8 billion arena, called the Intuit Dome, broke ground today. It is expected to open up in the 2024-25 season. Former Pro Bowl defensive tackle Roger Brown, who was a member of the LA Rams' fearsome foursome, has passed away at the age of 84. And the Chargers have placed right tackle Brian Bulaga on injured reserve with a back injury. He was only able to play half of the game in Week 1 before going down. I'm J.D. Haffron.
This family takes turns turning heads. Brains, beauty, and athleticism. All they need now is for you to drive them off the lot. The Mercedes-Benz family of SUVs, 8 unrivaled vehicles waiting at your local dealer.
We have a crash on the 91 in Anaheim.
This one, it looks like it may have just cleared. 91 freeway westbound right there to 55. Perhaps, though, still very slow from the Imperial Highway as you try to squeeze through. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien looking at conditions in industry.
Yeah, and a very tough drive for the 605. 605 southbound, you're loading up there just about the 60. From the 60, though, it's bumper to bumper through Whittier down through the 5. Northbound side of the 605, it's the brakes there at the 105. Pretty tough, pretty much the same stretch through Whittier towards the 60. It is much looser, though. It's more more moderate scoring there. Now, on the 10 eastbound, we just jammed out of Santa Monica most of the way to downtown Los Angeles. Gonna loosen up just a bit. He's back on the brake. Much of the way through West Covina. As a matter of fact, stick with you on and off all the way to Montana. Injured in an accident? This is Superwoman, SuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the sky.
And still status quo near Gorman, I-5 northbound at Dixondale, while those two right lanes taken away because of a brush fire. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Will Coleswagger.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
Tired of the BS? We spent $500,000 at risk. Results $8 million for leg-injured motorcyclists.
Hey, it's Neil. You know, renovating our home was one of the best things my wife and I did in the last year and a half. It just makes all the sense in the world to invest in your home and your family's comfort. Years ago, we called American Digital Windows. They installed these great French doors for us. They changed the flow of our home, brought light and backyard access to where there wasn't any. Recently, they put in new windows in our kitchen. They're gorgeous, not to mention the kitchen. The work is outstanding. We all know Joe's got these stories. Horrible experience, replaced their own windows, started their own company. 20 years later, they continue to beautify homes with personal care, total attention. CSLB number 778326. Trust the window company that I trust, my family trusts. American Vision Windows. You'll see the difference. Call American Vision Windows today. Get that free estimate, 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or check them out on AmericanVisionWindows.com.
What really happened on January 6th? Was it a protest or something worse? Even an insurrection? Joe Biden said it was the worst event since the Civil War. All this week, Chris Salcedo is on TV asking the tough questions and finding the real answers. Watch Salcedo's January 6th series on Newsmax every weekend. More than 40 million Americans watch Newsmax, America's fastest growing cable news channel. It's on every major cable system. Just check your cable guide. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call your operator or switch to a service that does. Get Newsmax on most streaming services like Roku, Amazon Fire, Pluto, and more. It's even on smart TVs like Samsung and Vision. Or download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone. It just takes seconds. Newsmax covers the big stories you need to know. The media isn't telling you the whole story. That's why millions are turning to Newsmax. So watch Salcedo on Newsmax today.
Anthem Blue Cross and Heart of America are helping schools across the country increase their access to healthy food. Learn more at Anthem.com.